Cool. Hello, guys. Welcome to Gusto Reactions. Once again, thank you so much for always liking, of course, sharing, subscribing, telling your friends about what we do right here at Gusto TV. We love and appreciate you so much. Big Lala, of course, is very much in the building today. Big Lala, have you been impressed by Davido's 2022 collaborations so far?
Of course, I'm always impressed with Davido's collaborations, as he adds the extra the extra spice to these collaborations.
Yeah,
and these collaborations are really good. I just don't know if he is happy that the biggest songs that involve Davido these days are collaborations and not Davido songs. I'm not sure if he's happy about that.
A couple of people said Davido just knows how to add that extra spice, to it. There was Young John Dada, the remix. There was the one with Skibby as well, and of course, the recent one that he did with Fields, that one Electricity.
There's also the one with Inyanya.
Oh, there's Inyanya as well. Yes, there's one with Inyanya as well. And of course, everyone is, even Donny Fesky had to do Electricity. Vibe on 1820. A couple of people have been impressed with Davido. Big Lala, before we go to that, there was a time you talked about the fact that Davido himself actually would not have been impressed with the kind of result that Stand Strong had on his career or in 2022. Do you still stand by that?
Of course. When that song was released, I already said it was a risk from Davido.
Yeah.
I understand where he was coming from, telling the story and all that. But
yeah.
Even if you're going to drop that kind of song, you must have a jam ready, set match ready to go almost instantly. But please, Stand Strong did not add anything to Davido, right? It didn't. If anything, it took him a couple of steps backwards, because people are out here talking about whether they have the song of the summer or not, and they are having a crazy time with their music.
Yeah.
So people are still having a crazy time with their music from last year or 2 years ago. You get. So that in itself that's the level you want Davido to be playing at. That's top level is what you want him to be playing at.
Yeah.
But at the very moment, he's playing a, how will I put it? Is it OG level on remixes or on features? He's doing really well on features. But those features, people will only appreciate you and say, oh yeah, you made this feature really great though. I mean, you feature in the song really great though. But the full credit of that song is still not going to you. It's still not going to be, oh, it's a Davido record or it's a this or it's a that. It's not going to be. And that's why I said at the start of the show, I'm not so sure if he's indeed really happy. Although he has teased some jams and says, oh, some of these things might be coming. We don't know when they're going to drop, but it looks like he has fallen a bit behind with these guys at the top right now.
But don't you think that the collaborations have made up for this particular behind thing that you talked about, right?
If you call it Dabi, me I talk on Yoruba, call it Dabi, right? If Dabi, you are talking like that. It can't be, because they are not Davido's records. How you would even promote those records, right? It's not the same way you promote a record that you're featured in. You can't do more than the owner of the song, right? You can't. You only do as much as you can because you're on the record, right? But there are certain things. If people are even going to call people to come and perform those records, they're going to call the main person who owns the song. If people want to listen to Like by Nyanya, they call it Nyanya. If you want to listen to Electricity, they call Fields. If you want to listen to Dada remix, they will call Young John. If you want to listen to
Baddest
the song
Boy
with Baddest Boy,
Skibby, they will call Skibby.
It's not going to be like that. That's why I said Davido, I don't know what they're planning, what they're scheming, but he needs. I'm pretty sure Davido wants hits. He wants hits, whether you like it or not. He's so important about having hits. And if you look at the story from back then, for example, before If and Fall came out, when he tells the story how those songs came about, right? He keeps on saying that, Mama, it's been months, I didn't have a hit. That means he recognizes when he releases a song and they are not hits. He knows, he can feel it, right? I'm pretty sure he's feeling the same right now. He knows that he's missing a hit record, not just a standard hit record, an above standard hit record that will do as much as these other top guys. He doesn't have that right now. Stand Strong did not provide that for him, and yeah, he needs to do something about it.
So Big Lala, do you think that in 2022, Davido has given away his best verses on features?
Quite possibly, he's giving away his best verses. Can he replicate them? Of course he can. I mean, we're even forgetting that there was a song called "What Are We."
Yeah, What Are We? Yeah,
there's What Are We. Yeah, I won't say his best verses, but most of the time, those features are as a result of songwriters. And sometimes when he sings them, it doesn't really relate, but at least the video sing them and it sounds good, right? And that's good. He can do better. And on his record, there's an opportunity for him to actually do better on this record. I'm even selectively checking the numbers, for example, of Stand Strong. By Davido standard, these numbers, they are abysmal. I'm going to tell you, they're abysmal. Whether on YouTube, on Spotify, these are not Davido standard numbers. No. These are the electricity fuse numbers. These are Dada numbers, Skibby numbers. Yeah, they're not at all. They're really not. So something needs to change. Something huge needs to change when it comes to Davido and releasing music.
Now it seems to be a case of sweet and sour. For David at the moment. In 2022, the features have been top notch, amazing. I mean, amazing. Electricity is one of the biggest singles out right now, but that song belongs to Fuse. At the time of Baddest Boy, it was one of the biggest singles out, and that song belonged to to Skibby. Dada Remix was one of the biggest out, at that moment as well, and it belonged to Young John. Same with Nyaya. I mean, it topped, a while, so all of these things have been features by Davido. Now, it's been a really, really good run in terms of, features for Davido 2022. Stand Strong is the one and only official single, for Davido in 2022. If you're an artist as Davido, do you think he's going to say, oh, well, my single has not, really done well, but, I could make up for it with this, and I could actually, do something, Will all these very dope features lead to something really great in terms of a single in 2022 before the end of the year?
I don't think they'll be related. I think the features have to be features. That's where they stop. What would make Davido's career right now, or how people see Davido's right now, is how big his records are. Now it sounds like we're putting him under some undue pressure. I'm pretty sure he himself notices that I really don't really have a hit like that at the moment.
But he is under pressure. You don't think so?
Yeah, I know he's under pressure. He himself knows he's under pressure because there's people can say he might be a clear third in that top three. People can even say that he's not even in the top three at the moment, right? Yeah, but he himself knows personally. I'm pretty sure he knows that he needs that record.
Yeah.
all those free snippets and everything that thing, so far and good. But wherever he's going to drop, he has to bank. It looks like there's now a big gap between the top two guys. In fact, not just top two guys. There's a CK in the mix as well. These guys, there's a gap. When you are on a race or in the title race, right? And people are winning, and you are drawing with features. That's what it looks like. The gaps keep on increasing per release by these guys, per success by these guys.
But Big Lala, this, thinking about it all over again, this doesn't seem fair. Now I'm gonna say, Wizkid has not dropped a single in 2022. In fact, he did a feature with Chris Brown. Yes, Call Me Every Day. Davido also did one with Chris Brown. Nobody Has to Know. Majo, Tunes, Wizkid, and Alpha P dropped, and of course, it wasn't as if it was the biggest song and all of that. So why is But there was
leftover. This we see that is example. There's a leftover of him dropping a deluxe of an album, being nominated for a Grammy, all that is still this year, whether you like it or not. He's still in conversation this year. His songs from those remixes, even though they didn't end up being the biggest of the biggest. I mean, the deluxe, they didn't end up being the biggest of records. But the one song that been still is for the past 2 years is still there. It's still being talked about today as
one song will be like 1 million songs.
You get it? So even if you don't drop, but he's still in conversation, that one song is still doing it for him. But what is that one song that is still doing it for Davido at the moment?
Fall.
It's not Stand Strong. Fall, see, the only time you hear about Fall is when he goes and perform it at any of these shows. The only time you hear of it is when you perform it at these shows. Nobody's going to call either of these two songs. Let's not forget that these two songs were bashed a lot when they got released for their oversimplified lyrics or oversimple lyrics that they had. That doesn't take away the fact of that song. Banana Fall on You, like Nikon Fall on You, is still as, I don't want to call it work, it's still as simple as basic. It can be. Forget that, it's still as basic. Forget that it still did really well, which is understandable, but it's still as basic as it is. So David has work to do. He can't be, that song is how many years ago? 3 or 4 years ago now, if I'm 4. It's that song don't go.
5 years ago.
He needs a replacement of that kind of song that he had 5 years ago. Now, today. And I'm pretty sure he's working towards it, but whatever plans he has, it has to really do. The gap has to close between him and these other guys. At this very moment, he's not playing on that level.
Big Lala, as we go, Davido collaborations this year have been really, really dope. The last time I spoke to you about David, you talked about the fact that Davido's new single should be all about Davido. In fact, the album should be more about Davido only. But this year, he's excelled more with someone on a particular song. The only one that he did on his own, Stand Strong, according to Davido's standard, did not really go, as planned. Should Davido go back to a single with a feature this time around as we go?
Well, he has to try both options. Stand Strong is not exactly his strong suit of a song. It was a risk that he took. And that's not his, like I said, it's not his strong suit. He needs to drop something by himself, doing what Davido does, that we know that Davido does. Yes, that needs to come into play before any other thing. It's important that comes into play.
Anyways, guys, let's have your thoughts on Davido 2022, the collaborations versus the singles. Of course, we know Davido has actually dropped bangers in terms of verses on Collabos this year. Are we going to say Davido actually, has given away his best, verses for, on this Collabos, or you think Davido has something coming very, very soon that is going to shock the whole world? What exactly do you think? And in comparison to Wizkid and of course Burna Boy, do you think it's not been fair on David to still, be considered, or what exactly do you think? Put your comments down below. Let's have your thoughts. Of course, we know a lot of fans are talking and everything. Guys, put your comment down below. We'll see you guys on the next one. Please continue to stay safe and don't forget to keep liking and sharing, subscribing. We'll see you guys. Please stay safe and God bless.